Gaming Bolt presents 15 things gamers hate about other gamers. Hello fellow gamer, I hate you. It's nothing personal, and honestly I've probably done the same thing to make you hate me too. So let's look back at our sins together and find the ties that bind us. Lagging. In any competitive multiplayer game, latency can often be the difference between a fun, happy experience and one that makes every single torture in the world seem relaxing. A player lagging isn't necessarily down to just their respective connection, it could be the game matching you against someone thousands of kilometers away. But with lag switches and other delayed responses, it's hard to feel anger towards just the developer. Cheesing missions. We can somewhat understand difficult content in some games, and not wanting to expend valuable time if you already know your way around a mission. However, when other players want to do nothing but cheese a mission, hiding in a very specific corner and camping to kill a boss, it gets tiring after a while. AFKing. The only thing worse than cheesing is AFKing. Earlier in games like Destiny, it was possible to simply not play during a strike and reap the rewards at the end. This was especially a problem when matchmaking with randoms in the Heroic Strike playlist. Such an issue is made worse in a game like Battleborn, where you kick a match-made teammate if they go AFK. Talking over the mic. At times, communication can be important, but if you randomly start screaming on the mic, going crazy or doing some other nonsense during a relatively relaxing period, then how can one not hate you? Do you also play music in the background? What are you even? Thankfully there's the mute button. Eating over the mic. Of course the mute button can't be used when you need someone to actually talk during a mission, and there's no better way to annoy your teammates and humanity as a whole than to eat over the mic. Bonus points for finding something crunchy. Seriously though, why is it so hard to understand that others don't want to know the process behind your meal? Asking for NERFS. A gun killed you in your favourite shooter. Clearly your skill or internet isn't the issue. Said weapon must be overpowered. Nerf it to the ground, devs. But seriously, asking for something that isn't objectively broken to be nerfed will quickly become one of the reasons you hate the internet gaming community as a whole. There's a very fine line between overpowered and strong in its own right that can apply to a variety of weapons. Ultimately, it's up to the developer to not utterly nerf a weapon or ability into oblivion, but when posts ask for nerfs on the strangest of things, like Destiny's Mida multi-tool, it can get old quick. Complaining too much in general. Do you like the game you play? Do you hate the game? Do you play the game you hate? Well, head on over to the forums, and don't be afraid to voice your opinion. Don't be afraid to tell everyone why every single aspect of the game they enjoy is simply trash. Witness the thousands of supporters that will throng to your every word, because quite frankly, there are enough like-minded individuals when it comes to just hating on a game. Objective feedback and criticism, even if it's emotionally charged, is fine, but simply complaining just for the sake of it, or for that sweet karma, is just annoying. Not playing the objective. One can understand that you value your precious KD ratio, but play the damn objective. Why? Because oftentimes, that's how you win that specific mode. And if you want to play Team Deathmatch, then, play TDM. In any competitive game mode, it can become downright frustrating to be the only player actually pursuing the objective. Griefing. Griefing takes on various forms in gaming, especially for something like Minecraft. It refers to the irritating of other players on the same server by either destroying their creations or obstructing them from doing anything. This is usually accomplished using means that the development team may not have considered. For example, the infamous doorway blocking in Tom Clancy's The Division, which prevented players from actually progressing because some idiot blocked a door in the safe house. Feeding. Though generally used in MOBAs, feeding applies to giving your opponent a ton of kills. While it may be used by others to indicate how bad you are, it can primarily refer to players who simply want to sabotage their team. In a MOBA, this is even more damning, since giving your opponents too many kills will grant them a lot of gold and experience, thus making things difficult for your team. If you genuinely suck, we can sympathize, but if you're a saboteur who feeds on purpose, then, well, we hate you. player killing or friendly fire abuse. Raise your hand if your teammate accidentally killed you in Rainbow Six Siege. Now raise your hand if you've been playfully killed in Halo 5 Guardians. It happens, we know. But then there are cases where players on your team do nothing but kill you. Heck, in games like The Division, non-hostile agents can walk in the line of your bullets and make you go rogue, thus inviting opposition. Though this is more friendly fire abuse than actual PKing. Spoiling stories. Man, did Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain have a good story or what? One doesn't actually think this because one hasn't played it, one is simply making an example. Of course it did. So better hop online and spoil every last detail of it for those scrubs who have jobs, lives and whatnot, and haven't had a chance to play. Best of all, do it without a spoiler tag, that'll show them. What will that show them? That's a good question. Leaving in the middle of matches. Of the many rage-inducing things in competitive shooters are players leaving during matches. Is your team only slightly behind? Why, best to leave the match then. In some cases it's understandable. Why take part in a hopeless match that you've been dropped into and make any effort when you're going to just take the loss? Seeing people leave at the slightest drop of a hat is infuriating though. Being too MLG. Despite all the difficult content in video games, at the end of the day everyone is playing to have fun. So when it comes to players in raids or competitive matches who demand an exceptionally high level of performance, it's easy to get annoyed. Whether you're truly skilled for a task or not, it's a video game. Not everyone has to rack up the most kills in order to have a good time. Being beaten by other players. It's an unfortunate fact, but losing to other players happens. We're not even talking about losing in a fair fight or your team not being up to snuff. It's a mix between sadness and rage when you just lose for no good reason at all. And no, looking at your team's KD scores isn't going to provide the answer. There's always going to be another match though, so hey, 2 out of 3, right?
Like this video? Why not give us a like and subscribe? We try and upload amazing videos almost every single day. Thank you for watching this video and we'll see you on the next one.